Welcome to F-Bomb Friday. Now, before we step into today's story, we want to take a moment to recognize someone who helped bring it to life. This episode was inspired by a submission from Sindee Nyte, who is one of our winners from our Cryptid submission contest. She shared something deeply personal, a nightmare, not just a passing dream, but something vivid, recurring, the kind that lingers long after you wake up. And from that nightmare came this, a creature shaped by fear, imagination, and something that feels just a little too real. Sindee Nyte of Creepin' It Real, thank you for trusting us with this, for sharing it, and for allowing us to turn it into something unforgettable. I am your host, Tracy Preston, along with my husband, Todd. Hey, hun.
Hey, baby.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's hit it. There are places in Michigan where the water doesn't just sit still. It waits, black and unmoving, stretched between choking reeds, slipping beneath rotting logs, mirroring trees that haven't shifted in 100 years. Nothing disturbs it. No wind, no ripple, no sound. Just the feeling that something beneath the surface is perfectly still because it's listening. Places where the bugs stop buzzing for no reason, where the frogs go silent all at once, where even the wind seems to hesitate before passing through. And if you've ever been out near Dead Stream Swamp, late, and I mean late, you might have felt it. That quiet shift, that wrongness, the sense that something else is moving when you're not. Not behind you, not in front of you, but around you, in the water, in the trees, under your feet. And if you're really unlucky, you'll hear it. It's not a howl. It's not a growl. It's something else. A sound that doesn't belong to wolf or coyote or anything that should exist out there. It hits your ears and then your mind. Your balance slips, your thoughts scatter, your body forgets how to run. And in that moment, it doesn't have to rush because it already knows you're not getting away. But it comes anyway, fast, too fast, and it's already closing the distance. On today's episode of F-Bomb Friday, we are talking about something that doesn't care if you're on land or in water. Something has been seen near Higgins Lake. Not often, not clearly, but enough. Whispered about in Houghton Lake, spoken carefully around Claire and Harrison. Always the same pattern. Voices lowered. Eyes scanning the dark, like even saying it out loud might draw it closer. They describe the same thing. Eyes that don't just glow. They find you. Teeth too long, too sharp, built for something that doesn't let go. And a sound? Oh God, that sound. It's not a howl meant to warn, but one that takes something from you. Your balance, your focus, your will to fight. And by the time it's over, you're already his. And around here, they have a name for it. A name people don't like to say twice. The RazorFin Howler. If you've never been out to Dead Stream Swamp, let me paint a picture for you. It stretches for miles, more than 11,000 acres of protected land, buried deep in Michigan's Roscommon and Missaukee counties, northeast of Cadillac. But numbers don't mean much out there, because this isn't a place you stumble into. It's a place you enter. And once you do, it doesn't let you forget it. The ground is never quite solid. The water never quite still. And the air? Oh, it's heavy, wet, too quiet. Old growth presses in from every side. Twisted trunks, low branches, and underbrush so thick it feels like it's closing behind you as you pass. Paths disappear. Sound dies. Light struggles to reach the floor. And after a while, you realize something unsettling. You're not just in the swamp. You're inside something that was never meant to be crossed. The kind of terrain where every step feels like it might be your last. Dry one. The ground doesn't hold you, it gives. Shifting, sinking, pulling at your boots with every step, like something beneath the surface is testing your weight, learning your rhythm. And the water? It's not clear. It's not even murky. It's black. Not dark green, not muddy brown. Black. The kind of black that doesn't reflect the sky, doesn't catch the light, and it doesn't give anything back. Even in daylight, it just sits there, deep, silent, and waiting. Hunters know the land. Fishermen pass through it. Kayakers drift too close to the edges when they think no one's watching. But if you linger, if you really pay attention, a pattern begins to take shape. People don't stay. And when you ask why, well, there's always a pause, a glance back over the shoulder, then the same quiet answer that just didn't feel right. Most people listen to that feeling and they leave. They don't come back, and whatever it was stays behind them. Sometimes someone stays, and that's when the silence breaks. That's when the stories begin. The earliest modern account, if you can even call it that, goes back to the late 1970s. Two brothers, local kids, late teens. They were out near a narrow stretch of water feeding into the swamp, fishing, drinking, doing what Michigan teens do when no one is watching. It was just another night, just another stretch of dark water. Now, according to the younger brother, that's where it all started, with the water. There wasn't a splash, no movement, just ripples, slow and controlled. Like something large was circling beneath the surface, close enough to feel, but never close enough to see. It didn't break the water. It didn't have to. Now, at first, they laughed it off, said it was a big pike, maybe a muskie. You know, something they could understand, something normal, until the ripples stopped and the woods behind them went quiet. No insects, no birds, no wind, just silence. The kind that presses in, that makes your ears strain, that tells you something is wrong before your mind can catch up. And then it came. Not a howl, not at first. A sound stretched too thin, too tight, like metal bending under pressure, like something being forced into a shape it was never meant to hold. The older brother stood up, and that's when it hit. Not from behind, not from the water, from everywhere. He dropped instantly, like something inside of him just shut off. He wasn't unconscious. He wasn't asleep. He was just gone, like who he was just wasn't there anymore. He was disoriented, hands to his head, trying to stand, but his legs were failing. The younger brother said he felt it too, but the disorientation didn't hit him as hard. For him, it was like standing up too fast, like the world had tilted and never quite leveled out again. And then something came out of the water. Not with a splash, but with the speed he had never witnessed before. One moment, nothing. The next, it was right there. Black, long, low to the ground. Its body was unlike anything he had ever seen before. Too smooth in places and too jagged in others. Spines rising along its back and a tail dragging behind it. Thick, heavy, slapping the mud like a warning that came too late. And the eyes? Oh God, those eyes. Green, glowing, locked. It didn't hesitate. It didn't circle. It didn't test. It knew. It grabbed the older brother by the shoulder, not clawing, not tearing, gripping. And then it pulled, not back into the water, but into the reeds, and it was fast. Too fast. The kind of fast your brain can't follow, but you remember after it's already gone. And just like that, it was over. The younger brother ran. He didn't look back. He did not stop until his feet hit gravel, and he would not be going back. Search parties were quickly organized. They found blood. They saw drag marks. But what they didn't find was the brother. That was all there was. Officially, it was declared an animal attack. But unofficially, people started talking. This thing, whatever it was, didn't have a name, just descriptions. They said it was something in the water, a black wolf thing, some kind of swamp devil. There were fragments and half stories, things people said and then wished they hadn't. But eventually, those stories started lining up, and then came the fishermen. By this time, it was the early 90s, Higgins Lake. Now, Higgins is known for being crystal clear, beautiful, one of Michigan's gems, the kind of place people trust, which makes what happened there all the more worse. A small group of fishermen went out before dawn. The water was calm, no wind, absolutely perfect conditions. The kind of morning where sound carries for miles and anything out there with you can hear you first. One of them, an older man, experienced, noticed at first something beneath the boat. He thought that couldn't be a fish. It was too big, too fast, and it was circling them. Then it surfaced, but not fully, just enough. A long snout, lined with thin needle-like teeth, too many of them, like a gar, but wrong, wider, smiling, and the eyes green, locked in and watching. The man said it wasn't hunting, it was studying them, learning them. Then one of the younger guys laughed, nervous and mocking, and tapped the side of the boat with his oar. A hollow sound, sharp and out of place. And that's when it hit. Not subtle this time. A shrill, tearing howl, like metal ripping, like something screaming through water that shouldn't carry sound. And here's the thing. It didn't echo. It cut. All three men dropped. Their legs just gave out. One vomited instantly, and another tried to get up and fell straight into the lake. The third, the one who saw it first, said the world tilted. Not spun, tilted. Like something had taken hold of everything around him and twisted it. Up wasn't up and down wasn't down. Nothing made sense. He couldn't focus, couldn't move, couldn't think. And beneath him, something moved fast, too fast to follow. But somehow, Beyond all reasonable expectation, every one of those men were able to get out of there. Barely. It's when they told their story to others that a name was given. It had fins like blades, and it howled like something that shouldn't exist. And after that, people stopped calling it a rumor. They started calling it the RazorFin Howler. Now here's the part that makes this thing worse than most cryptids. It doesn't stay in one place. It doesn't belong to just the water or land or anything you can prepare for. By the early 2000s, reports started coming in from Claire and Harrison. Hunters, mostly. Men who knew the woods. Men who didn't scare easy. One of the hunters was tracking a deer after shooting it. Fresh prints, a light, luminescent blood trail, taking the hunter deeper and deeper into the woods. Nothing unusual, until it was. The trail just stopped. No carcass, no struggle in the dirt, no sign of where it went. Just silence. And something else. A new set of tracks. Not hooves, not paws, but something in between. Webbed and clawed. Something pressed deep into the earth, like whatever made them was heavy, but moving fast. Now intrigued, the hunter had something new he was tracking, which, yeah, bad call. The deeper he went, the quieter it got. That same silence, that same wrongness. And then he heard it. Not the full howl, not this time, just a pulse of it, sharp, brief. Enough to make his vision blur, enough to buckle his knees, like something inside him was being pulled loose. And then he saw it, up in the trees, clinging, not perched, not resting, clinging. Long limbs wrapped tight around the trunk, its body pressed close, its head tilted just enough to watch him, waiting. And the eyes? Well, they were not as they have been described before. They weren't green at all. They were glowing amber. As the hunter was lost in the amber glow, that's when it hit him. Not just fear, but an understanding. This thing didn't move between water and land. This thing, whatever it was, didn't have boundaries. It could change, learn, and hunt wherever it needed to. As difficult as it was, his legs heavy and very weak, with all the energy he could muster, he ran. But the creature, with the glowing amber eyes clinging onto the tree, didn't follow. Not because it couldn't, because it didn't need to. This man was lucky to make it out of the woods that day. Now, when you line up the sightings, a pattern begins to emerge. Dead Stream Swamp, Houghton Lake, Higgins Lake, Claire, Harrison, all water-connected ecosystems, dense forest, long stretches where no one goes, especially after dark. It's not random. It's never been random. And here's what should bother you. The aggressive encounters that happen at night, not sometimes, but almost always. Now, during the day, people report very little. A ripple, a silence that feels off. A sighting, but no attacks. Which means one thing. It's out there, but it's waiting. Resting somewhere no one has found, and no one, and I mean no one, has ever figured out where that is. Now, let's talk about that howl, because that's not just a sound, it's a weapon. Every witness describes it differently, but the result, it's always the same. It hits you fast, too fast to brace for. Your balance goes first, then your vision, blurring at the edges, like the world is slipping out of focus. Your stomach turns and your body lags behind your thoughts. And then, the worst part, you can't move. Not the way you need to, and not fast enough. Not well enough to matter. And here's the detail that doesn't make it into most reports. No one who hears the full howl ever makes it out. Not one. No bodies recovered, no clear evidence, no second accounts. Just stories that stop mid-sentence. It doesn't knock you out. That would be mercy. It leaves you well aware, as if it enjoys the torture you're going to experience. You'll feel everything, fully comprehending what's happening to you. Your body just won't respond. And that's when it comes in for the kill. Fast, like something appearing closer every time you try to focus. A blur on land, a shadow in water. And those spines along its back, they're not just for defense. Some believe they vibrate, which creates what is heard. It's subtle at first, then stronger and louder, amplifying and carrying what you're hearing, turning that howl into something physical, something that doesn't just hit your ears, but your nervous system, through bone, through balance, through thought, until your entire body becomes unreliable, uncoordinated, unusable. And by the time you realize what it's doing, what it's done to you, the howling stops. So what exactly are we dealing with? Let's walk through the theories. 1. An undiscovered species, something ancient, amphibious, a predator that evolved in isolation. This makes sense at first, but here's the problem. This is nothing we know. Nothing evolves a weapon like that. A sound that shuts down the body? Something that disables it before it kills. Nature doesn't work that way. 2. Mutation. environmental damage, chemical runoff, something that twisted an existing animal into this. But even that falls apart because mutations create instability, randomness. And this isn't random, it's precise, refined, engineered by something that understands exactly what it's doing. And then there's the third theory, the one people don't like to say out loud. It's not a species. It's one. Just one. Always one. Seen for decades. Never aging. Never multiplying. Never leaving behind anything that explains it, which means every sighting, every encounter, every disappearance is the same thing. Not repeating, improving, learning the terrain, learning the prey, learning the limits, and then pushing past them, adapting, perfecting. And if that's true, then this isn't something you stumble across. It's something that's already been watching you long enough to know exactly how to end it. So, are you that listener thinking to yourself, I could handle that? No, you couldn't. But if you're foolish enough to try, this is what people say might help. Avoid water at night in those regions, not just the big lakes, the quiet ones, the ones that don't move. If the woods go silent, leave immediately. Don't wait to figure it out. Don't second guess it. Just go. If you hear anything that even resembles a high-pitched howl, don't run. Not right away. Drop low. Cover your ears. Give your body a chance to hold it together before you try to move. Stay in groups if you can, though that's never been a guarantee. And for the love of everything, do not investigate ripples in black water, because that's an invitation, and it's waiting for you to accept it. But before we go, we'll leave you with this recent last account. Picture this: a couple camping just outside Harrison, small fire, quiet night. Around 2:30 in the morning, they hear it. Not loud, but distant. The woman later describes it as a scream stretched into something alive. The man stands, takes a few slow steps toward the tree line, and then he stops, like his body forgot how to move. His head tilts slightly, like he's trying to understand something he was never meant to hear. And that's when she sees them. 2 lights, low to the ground, amber, watching. She grabs him and pulls, drags him back toward the fire. And just as suddenly as it started, it ends. The lights vanish. The pressure lifts. The world snaps back into place. They don't hesitate, and they don't question it. They pack up their gear, leave before sunrise, and they never go back. And here's the thing. Most stories, most legends, they fade when the telling is over. You turn off the lights, you crawl into bed. Maybe you laugh it off a little. Tell yourself it's just a story, just another shadow given a name. Something meant to make the dark feel a little darker, and nothing more. But not all stories stay where they're told. Some of them follow you home. Because the RazorFin Howler doesn't feel like something trapped in a story. It doesn't feel contained, and it doesn't feel finished. It feels like something that's still out there. Something moving through places people don't fully understand anymore. Waiting in the quiet stretches of water, in the spaces between trees, in the silence that comes just before something goes wrong. And if you've ever been out there late enough, long enough, and felt that moment where everything goes still, where the air changes, where the world seems to hold its breath, you might already know. You just didn't have a name for it until now. When it's dark, just stay clear of Deadstream Swamp, where the water doesn't reflect the sky the way it should, and Higgins Lake, when the surface of the water goes still enough to look like glass. Because if these stories and these sightings, these whispered warnings have any truth to them at all, then there is something out there that doesn't care if you're standing on solid ground or floating in open water. With its speed, distance doesn't matter. Hiding doesn't matter. And it's patient enough that time doesn't matter. So think about that. So the next time you find yourself out there, near dark water, near thick woods, camping, fishing, hunting, or just trying to enjoy the quiet, pay attention. If the insects stop, if the frogs go silent, if the air itself starts to press in around you, don't wait. Don't go looking. Do not take one more step toward the shoreline. Leave immediately, because it's the ones that say, it's probably nothing. Well, those are the stories that don't get finished. If the silence finds you first, you're already too close. Well, hun, the RazorFin Howler?
Creepy, huh?
So creepy.
This creature is terrifying. Nightmare fuel to the core. Imagine a creature that you can't escape. You can't escape. It's too fast. It's too strong. It's fast in the water. It's fast on land. If you were to jump and climb in a tree, that thing could probably still get you.
The only way you're getting away is if you can fly.
Right.
And we can't.
And if you can fly, you better be fast.
Well, one of the things I was thinking about, because today I had my first experience with vertigo. So as we were reading the story, thinking about when you hear the full howl, all I could relate.
Yeah.
Because having vertigo, your whole world spins real fast.
Right.
My world spun real fast to the left, and I was disoriented. And when I tried to stand, I couldn't walk.
Right.
Like my body was pulling to the right. And that was frightening. And so that is what, like I said, I was relating to it. I thought, wow, this could possibly be what they may feel like.
Right. This creature incapacitates its victims and essentially paralyzes its victims because they can't move. They lose all balance. Their vision blurs, and
then you vomit, and
yeah,
that's the worst.
Yeah, and
hate that feeling.
And how do you run away when you're feeling like that?
Well, the other thing it made me think about is, working in ICU, CCU, we paralyze our patients, right?
Right.
You paralyze their body, but it doesn't paralyze them. They know what's going on.
Exactly.
So that's why if you paralyze someone, you have to sedate them.
Exactly.
And that's horrifying to sit there and watch this thing do whatever it's going to do to you.
Right.
We don't know what it does.
Right.
But to be fully aware.
And I think
horror.
I think the RazorFin Howler, that's one of the things that it gets its kicks on, is that fear that their victim knows exactly what's happening but can't do anything about it.
Yes, terrifying.
Yeah.
So thank you, Sindee Nyte.
Yes.
Because that nightmare of yours is now a nightmare of mine.
Right. And it's also been my screensaver on my phone for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have been replaced with the RazorFin Howler. And that's a true story. Well, fantastic job, Sindee. Thank you for submitting this cryptid for our cryptid contest.
Yeah.
And go hunt for putting the visual together, not only in the image of the RazorFin Howler, but the lore.
Well, thank you. And
lore of the Howler.
It was a collaboration. We worked on it together, so.
It was a good collab.
Yeah. Collab in the lab.
That's right. That's exactly what happened. Well, do you want to sign us out, hon?
I sure do. You better lock your doors. You better lock your windows. And you might want to check under your bed.
So thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. We will see you again on Malice in the Mitten on Monday.
We'll see you on Monday.